Good morning. Thank you for waking up with us this foggy Friday morning here on Good Morning Malibu. Stay tuned. We have a great show for you.
Good morning, Malibu. I'm Shayla Girardin.
And I'm Phil Riolo. I hope you had a terrific week and have some great plans for your weekend ahead of you. We have some great stuff on the show for you today.
Yes.
I know the weekend's not going to be so great for some select passengers of a Carnival Cruise. The Explorer of the Seas docked Wednesday afternoon in New Jersey after cutting its 10-day Caribbean cruise short following a serious virus outbreak on the ship. Basically, there was this norovirus.
It's been a rough week for them.
It's been a very, very rough week for them.
630 passengers, right?
Yes, there was like a little over 3,000 passengers on board.
Yeah.
630 of them so far have been reported as having this virus. You can see the ship being docked in New Jersey. It docked Wednesday afternoon, early in the afternoon around 2 o'clock, and they've been unloading passengers and their cargo and basically cleaning the ship. And they're planning on sending the ship out this weekend to go back to the Caribbean on a whole nother cruise.
I just can't get over that. Almost 700 passengers come back extremely sick with a flu.
I know.
And they're just going to clean the ship up and send it right back out to sea.
Yeah.
That seems a little aggressive to me.
They've been kind of getting mixed responses from passengers. Some are threatening lawsuits and others are brushing it off. One woman was interviewed after they ported in New Jersey and said a hangover was worse than the sickness we experienced. The way people are blowing it out of proportion is really upsetting. They did a really good job referring to the crew and the management of Carnival.
Well, I'm glad to hear that some people think they've handled it well.
I know.
And they got a free cruise out of the deal.
They did.
Whether or not you count that as a success, being sick the whole cruise.
So, a lot of people are rebooking their cruises, but the cruise industry is having a hard time.
Yeah.
Because you had the Costa Concordia, which capsized off the coast of Italy last year, and the Carnival Triumphant cruise, which caught fire in the Gulf of Mexico and had to get towed back to Alabama. And that was last year. That's when we saw all the footage of, they ran out of water, they ran out of food, there was, sewerage everywhere. And so rough time for cruise lines.
For the cruise ship industry. I won't be going into that business.
No, definitely not.
And I'm going on a cruise in a couple months. I don't know how I feel about this now.
Yeah, you're going to have to...
I might need to reschedule that.
Take a lot of hand sanitizer.
I'll bring my Purell with me.
Yes, but I was looking online this morning because I thought it would be interesting to see where you could take a cruise and how much it costs. I went online and you can take a 5-day Pacific cruise now for $300 a person. So
great.
Obviously the cruise industry is really trying to promote those $300
trying to make a comeback. I applaud them. Where do I sign up?
Expedia. That's where I found it this morning.
Expedia.
Nice
all right.
little product placement there. That'll be $500.
Awesome. I'll go ahead and log on. Thank
you.
And the Super Bowl is actually this Sunday, as we all know. And let's be honest, half of us may only be watching it for the commercials. And we all enjoy watching them, but in all honesty, do we even really remember who they are for? Well, a recent study came out this morning, actually, saying that 80% of people don't remember who the advertisements are for. Which begs the question, it costs so much to produce a Super Bowl ad. And right now, CNN just released a statistic saying it cost $4.5 million for one ad. So why spend all that money if you're not even sure if it works?
I'm just sitting here watching them. I'm probably driving Shayla crazy because I'm cracking up like with the GoDaddy commercial and stuff. But it's interesting because they spend so much money. But, in
Yeah.
all honesty, we do talk about it all the time because, here we are a year later still watching the GoDaddy commercial.
Yeah,
And, weeks and weeks after the Super Bowl, we're all YouTubing, did you see this, did you see that? But still, they spend so much money.
They spend so much money. I'm not 100% sure if I believe that statistic because I do feel like people remember them.
Yeah.
I know I do, especially the GoDaddy one. Like you said, years later.
But it is funny because when we were talking about the GoDaddy commercial like 2 weeks ago, someone in the studio asked what was GoDaddy. Because I think a lot of people don't.
True.
Right? Even if they know what the product is, they still might not know what they do.
That's true. And the Super Bowl is one of the few DVR-proof ways to advertise. I know people don't record that one as often, so maybe that's why. I don't know. But 4.5 million, that's a hefty price. Oh my gosh.
So definitely not costing $4 million, but still a big event here at Pepperdine. Tonight is Pepperdine's 2014 Reel Stories Film Festival here at Pepperdine. The film showcase begins tonight at 7 o'clock with the feature films start at 7 o'clock, and we're featuring Blackfish, 20 Feet from Stardom, and Crash Reel. We featured Blackfish, the documentary behind the scenes at SeaWorld on our show a few weeks ago. 20 Feet from Stardom showcases the lives just beyond the spotlight. Their voices and harmonies bring harmony to the biggest bands in popular music, but we have no idea what the life of these backup singers were until we have this documentary. And Crash Reel follows snowboarding legend Kevin Pierce's comeback after his near-fatal crash in Park City, Utah on a half-pipe. So it's sure to be an inspiring evening.
Yeah.
The feature film starts at 7, but there's the big party beforehand that starts at 5 with food and a red carpet and a step and repeat and all that fun. And then all the student films are showcased then later in the evening, and they actually give awards to the students who have the best documentary. So it's like a little Sundance.
It's a
minus
great
the snow.
event.
Sundance minus the snow
No
in Malibu.
snow, please. It was a great event. I went last year, and Pepperdine really goes all out. There's free food, which of course, I mean, that brings in the whole campus when you have free food available.
Yes.
And you get to see all the students' hard work in their short films. They do such a great job.
It really is. And the community comes, Malibu locals come in to see the student productions because obviously Malibu has a history, in the business. So, it's always interesting.
They roll out the red carpet.
They do. They do.
Some red carpet treatment. Well, Reel Stories is not the only thing that's going on. It is actually Chinese New Year. So happy Chinese New Year. Today marks the year of the wooden horse, which to me sounds like a rocking horse,
chair.
but that's just me.
That's okay.
So get ready for some red stuffed envelopes, dragons, and a flood of tourists in LA. So Los Angeles is going all out this year for the first time to celebrate Chinese New Year, and retail shopping centers such as the Grove are completely decorated with paper lanterns. They're going all out to try and attract the Asian presence within LA. So
Which I think
excited.
is great. I'm all for decorating for really anything.
Yeah.
So another reason to go to the Grove and be trampled by tourists.
Absolutely. Enjoy some Chinese food. See lots of paper lanterns.
Go to the
and
movie theater.
Sprinkles Cupcakes is actually releasing a new cupcake. We have a photo of it here. And it's a red cupcake with a horse medallion.
Covered your face perfectly.
Yes, it fits in great. I think this calls for a visit to Sprinkles.
I think it
Leave
does.
it to Sprinkles to come up with.
Shayla and I can always find reasons to visit Sprinkles.
Absolutely. And Chinese New Year's is a great one.
Yeah.
It's for the occasion, right? I'm simply celebrating the year of the rocking horse.
Yes, therefore we have to eat 6 red velvet Sprinkles cupcakes each.
Or maybe just one.
I'll
just
eat
one.
7.
You can have 7. I'll have one.
So the Australian federal government has approved a plan to dump 3 million cubic feet of dredged spoil in the Great Barrier Reef Park. So they're actually taking 3 million tons of Justin Bieber and dumping it in the ocean. The reef is the largest living structure on the planet and is a hugely diverse ecosystem stretching 2,300 kilometers along the Queensland coast. So they're basically taking this dredge soil from different places in the sea and putting it there. And a lot of environmental groups are not happy, Greenpeace being one of them. One of their leaders came forward and said, this go ahead for dumping is one more body blow for the reef, which further threatens marine life, its World Heritage status, and Australia's tourism and fishing industries. So lots of problems with spoils in the world.
Highly controversial. It does surprise me that of all places to drop, you said 3 million. Meters. That's crazy. That they would choose here. I mean, that's such a beautiful location, such a great tourist attraction.
Look at all the little dories swimming everywhere.
You know, Finding Nemo.
Fishy. Okay. I am going to digress and go into Finding Nemo tangents. So we're going to take a quick break, but stay tuned because when we come back, we'll have your latest Pepperdine Sports Report and breaking news from around the world here on Good Morning Malibu.
Stay with us.